Hello, my name is Trinity. It's a pleasure to meet you both. And before I ask my question, I know we're short on time, but I did just want to show you both some love, but especially you, Alex, because I'm 20 now, but in 2020 I was 15 trying to enter and navigate a very politically intense world. And one of the first times I felt like honor and pride was watching you give your speech against Representative Yoho for insulting you. And I remember just being like, okay. Always stand up. But my question actually has to do with Elise Stefanik. We've been talking about reaching out to representatives and the best way to contact them, and I was wondering if you had any advice for anybody, but especially like Gen Z, because I've tried to call her office multiple times, and no matter the option I choose, I get a dial tone, and I'm just like, okay, I guess I can't speak to my representative. And it's just really saddening and disheartening to see, especially when we want to do so much work and change, even though we're at a small scale.
Well, you deserve better than a dial tone for your representative. And the reason that anyone would do that is because they're scared. They know, and they know that what they are doing deserves consequences, and they want to run away from those consequences, so they just pull the plug on their phone line. Now, I think that if they want to do that, then our responsibility is to also report that to the community. And the more that people start to realize that, and this is not even a Democratic or Republican issue, we are your public servants. We are here to serve you. So if you are a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, when you call your representative, they better pick up the phone. And that better connect through. And so when it doesn't, then the alternative, I would say, and I'm an organizer, is to be public with that. And there's lots of creative ways to do that, which, you could do a Stefanik dial tone count, or really, it also involves like people showing up where she won't. Yeah. Paul, do you have any insight?
Yeah, I would say too that this fight is for everybody. The rural states who had their Republican representatives saying what a terrible bill this is, and they kept going forward with the process, bending the knee to the leader. We're fighting, yes, for the upstate area, the North Country. We're fighting for all of New York, but it's affecting all of America. These rural hospitals in primarily rural red states, we have a mix, right, of hospital culture. In many of these states, it's all rural health care. And when you cut Medicaid and Medicare to the tune of $1.5 trillion, something's gonna crash. And you know what? That access is very important to the lives of people. And their pain and their health and their illnesses aren't going to go away. And so where do they go? To the emergency room. Remind people what the consequences are to her vision and the president's vision. They go to the emergency room, it gets filtered into bad debt and charity, and it finds its way into all of our premiums. So why not do it the compassionate way, the American valued way, to just say, we appreciate you, we're going to cover you with dignity and determination, we get it done.
And where there's that void, one of us can fill it, which is one of the reasons why we're here today. Thank you. Do we have a mic over here?
Hi. There's a 5-year-old girl in the southern part of Stefanik's district, where I come from. She's just spent 11 weeks in Albany Med with a rare form of cancer. Less than 2 years ago, Stefanik bragged on her website about reintroducing the Fairness to Kids with Cancer Act. And a couple weeks ago, she bragged on her website about providing the deciding vote for Trump's big, stupid bill. And I hope I can maybe share with some staff member some specifics about this little girl. But the community is rallying around her family with everything from bottle drives to buying bracelets and pizza, and that goes to the heart of our broken healthcare system. But the bigger issue for her are all these cuts to cancer research. And I think that, Stefanik just is not showing up for this little girl.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And, it's so powerful because we're about to go through a very difficult time as a country. They passed this vote, and we fought as hard as we can, but we've passed this vote. And because of people like Elise Stefanik, who have the power to stop it, and instead chose to enable it, we are on the precipice, starting next year, of some very difficult times. Who here is on an ACA market kind of exchange insurance? Would you mind saying like the general, like the range, if you're comfortable, the range or cost per month of your insurance plan? Pardon? $1,200 a month. And is that to cover you and your family, or just for one person? $1,200 a month for your ACA exchange plan. Pardon? A high deductible plan. That's insane. Not only is that, and this is why we need to talk about this, because that's insane just to start, right? It already speaks to how challenging and broken our healthcare system is just to begin with. But we already got some estimates that these ACA plans, some of them are set to increase by, up to 75%? Is that right, Paul? Starting in 2026. Because of Elise Stefanik's vote. So we have to put on pressure to cancel these cuts and do what we can to reverse what's possible.
Alex, if I might, just quickly to the research. Alex and I were proud as Democrats that in mass, we introduced well over 100 amendments before the Rules Committee, before the vote on the big ugly bill. And the very last amendment was introduced by the ranking member for the Democrats on the Rules Committee, Jim McGovern. He and his family are grieving the loss of their daughter just weeks ago. He represents Worcester, Mass. Molly was assisted by the research at NIH for a better quality of life. She had a great fight, and she got extended time. He stood up and begged them to reinstate the dollars from that cut to NIH for these rare forms of cancer. And the Republicans said no. Where is the humanity? And when we talk about these efforts with the subsidies for the Affordable Care Act, in this district alone, 10,747 people will be impacted, and their rates will be increased by 147%. 147% on average. So these are devastating stats. So the very first question, take the truth to them, because the truth is always victorious, and make them squirm in their lies and their misrepresentation.